Yes, justice for the people. So justice for the people. Listen, we're gonna win. So the news as well is that AfeBabalola was dropping the case against Dele Farotimi after it was pleaded. Had several people, including Obasanjo, PeterObi, Matthew Cooker, Reverend Father Matthew Cooker, plead with him, to drop the case. But I mean, when I think the Ooni of Ife and some other monarchs spoke with him as well, he decided to drop the case. So which is great. So that's one case drop. Um, Dele Faratomi said it already. This is about us. This is about Nigerians. This is about Nigerians making sure that their voices are heard. Um, we have to make sure our voices keeps getting heard in every area, in every facet of our society. We have to continue to make sure that our voices are continuously being heard. Um, Nigeria currently is not working for everyone. It's only working for a very minute few, and we cannot not make we have to make sure we have to be intentional, we have to be deliberate. um you remember the case. This video was initially as an intro just to remind you, as a flashback, to say this is when Dele Faratomi was brought to court for a bail hearing. When chopped up cases are brought against someone abducted from his office, secretary slapped, phone seized, and then taken across several state lines to get a trial, then you know there's an issue. All right. Every other person, you could just invite him into the police station. No proper process was taken. And this is why Nigerians are in every area and every facet of fighting to make sure that we are heard. And we need to be heard. So AfeBabalola dropped the case, and we know that that's one case for Dele Faratomi to one less case as well. Now, whatever the endpoint will be, we don't know. But for me, this case is actually one. This particular case is one of this outcome right now is one of the softest landing you can actually imagine, because there wasn't a case in the first place. If somebody accuses you in his book, your job is to say, okay, you've accused me, let's go to court. You don't get the police, you know, adding charges to it, and the police becomes part of the litigant. You don't get that. So what we're getting right now is a system that doesn't work, a system that is not good and not fit for purpose. So that's why we're saying this over and over and over again. This case between AfeBabalola and Farotimi, it's about case for every single Nigerian. It's a Nigerian case. Dele Farotimi is not in it alone. We are all in it. So whilst we want to say thanks and commend the Ooni of Ife and every other person who've lended their voice to this, PeterObi and the others, including Shore and everyone, every single person, Nigerians who have been, clamoring, asking for change. We know we don't have to, we can't stop. We have to press on. We have to press on. We have to press on to make sure that we have a fair chance. If you find yourself in court, you have a fair chance. Now imagine the case imagine the former senator of Ekweremadu that was arrested in the UK a while back and sentenced to jail. Do you think something like that will ever happen in Nigeria? And even if it ever happens, it will end up like the Bobrisky case, where they will give you a special place in a special place in the prison, as long as you have your money. It's corruption, and that's what we're trying to fight. That's what we're protesting against. That's what we're clamoring against. We want a fair chance in our nation. We want to ensure that our politicians stop using public funds to enrich themselves. That's what we're after. We don't want to continue the way we've been going. It does not work. The way we've been going doesn't work. So until we come to that full realization that our system as it stands right now is not fit for purpose, we will suffer it together. And we will continue because we are suffering it already. So we'll continue to suffer it. So we have to ensure that our system works for every single one of us. We want the court to work. We want the police to work. This video that we're posting, these conversations that we're having is for every single one of us. I want my child to have a fair chance. I want your child to have a fair chance. The allegation there was that one person bought justice, the other one says, no, I didn't. So we're going to fight this over and all that. But we're going to arrest you first. But again, I think this is not just about Dele Farotimi. You know, I think so. I think this is about Garginen. Again, this case is not just about Dele Farotimi. I think it's about Garginen because you don't want him to speak. He's got this global audience right now. People are listening. So what do? You shut the messenger. That's why Dele Faratomi said to us, this is just about him alone. It's about Nigerians. We cannot be shut right now. We cannot let them shut our mouths right now. We have to speak against government corruptions, politicians stealing from the public coffers. We got to speak about it. We got to continue to talk about it. We have to continue to shine the light on it. Let us don't stop. Nigerians need us. Our children need us. Our grandchildren will need this. They need a place, a better place, so that we don't have people crossing the Atlantic Ocean just to get to another nation. Nigerians are dying crossing, going from Libya through other part of Europe, the wrong side. They're dying on the daily basis. You do not understand. Corruption affects every single one of us. Even if you're one of those ones who are benefiting right now, it would affect you today. Take an example. If money that was meant to fix your road, your hospitals, your schools are stolen, like the one that Yaya Bello did, where he stole so much. Imagine somebody that you know is traveling from Kogi and there's an accident. What happens? He needs to go to that hospital, but the hospital is not there anymore because that money has been stolen. And the outcome is literally, you can imagine what it will be anyway. So what we want to do is we want to stop this gross incompetence and, you know, mindless corruption and public funds theft. We want to stop it. We want to put a stop to it. Let's rise up against this corruption, injustice in our society. Like I think it was Aisha used to normally would say, injustice to one is injustice to all. That's why injustice to Dele Faratomi is injustice to every Nigerian. Injustice to Amoyele Showore is injustice to every Nigerian. Injustice to you is injustice to me too. Let's make our system work. I don't have to know somebody at the top to actually get a good job. That's what we want. We want a fair chance. If we're look at our politicians, the children are all studying abroad, but they're ruining our schools. And they're studying abroad from what? Public funds stolen. Please, I want you to name 100 Nigerian politicians that you know who you think have created something in Nigeria. Something they've created. We call them wealthy, but they're only wealthy based on the amount of money they stole and their political relevance because they still to remain politically relevant so they can sponsor candidates to continue to line their pockets. We don't want those anymore. Okay? We don't want those anymore. Which brings me to my next point. Our judicial system. It has to work. Our judiciary has to work. We need the courts to work. And by having conversations like this, we're championing the independence of our judiciary. We're trying to help them push the hands of the corrupt politicians off of their neck. For example, If you remember the case of things about Bukachua when he said he encroached on his wife's independence and she encouraged it. Something like that we want to fight against. We don't want something like this. We want a system to work. It should work for you as much as it works for me, as much as it works for the next politician's sons and daughters. It should work for us. That's why 2027 is within reach as well. Just as 2023 was within reach, 2027 is within reach. You can make it happen. Go get your PVC. Start to make these campaigns. Get people around you to go get the PVC so that by the time we get to 2026, they're not looking for ways not to read because INEC is another bottleneck in the process. But if we start to talk about this corruption now, we will force their hands. The more of us that can vote, the better, and the less likely they're going to read because they have to find a way to, cook up the numbers, just the same way they did in the just concluded election in Edo State. And you can see the evidences and the trails of corruption in the process. So I'm saying this as well again. While this is a commendable outcome, thanks to the monarchs, the Ooni of Ife and the other monarchs that have pleaded, there's nothing wrong. Actually, absolutely, there's nothing wrong in having people have cases, trashed outside of court. It frees up the judges, it frees up their time so they can handle other cases as well. So there's nothing wrong in it. So we want to say thank you to everybody who's been part of this case. But for Nigerians, we can't stop right now. We have to fight for the country and be intentional about the country that we want to have. We need to continue to speak on behalf of the police so that police can be looked after, their welfare can be well taken care of. They looked after, they have the right vehicles to, follow after crime. Take an instance. When the police don't get paid very well, they don't looked after very well. It's you and I they meet on the road. It's you and I they hassle on the road. They stop they put blockades on the road just to stop us from going so we can give them peanuts. And guess what? The politicians who are stealing funds, who are making the situation stay the way it is, always fly using private helicopters. Their children don't get harassed on the road because they go with police security to secure them. So they don't get the stops. So they're not feeling the pains that you and I are feeling. That's why you have to speak up and continue to speak up for the police. Same thing for the judges. Same thing for our judiciary. Same thing for our military. If there's independence, you can, and if there's no corruption, if we minimize corruption to the barest minimum and get the right people in office, there's nothing on earth that is stopping you and I from being the best in the world. With all these impediments in our way, we're still climbing to be the top around the world, all over. How much more when we have the field, a level playing field? So I'm saying to everybody, speak up. If your road is not working, take your cameras there, record it and post it and call your governor's name, call your senator's name. Let them speak up. Our senators are not law and contractors anyway, so we're going to be talking about the senators at some point later, our lawmakers. That's going to be another conversation in and of itself anyway, but let's start with the smaller one first of all, the ones that are within reach. And that's the INEC bit, that's our PVCs, that's our, stamping out corruption from every sectors of our society so that you and I can have a better future. Thank you again for liking, commenting, and sharing. Please subscribe to this so you get new feeds whenever a new content is released every day. All right. So I look forward to speaking or chatting with each and every one of you anyway. So again, thank you. Like, share, and subscribe. Speak to you or see you next time. Bye for now.